Okay, this video is going to show you a few places within library resources that are really great for brainstorming ideas. And though I sent you links in the module to get directly to these resources, I'm going to show you also how to get there from the library homepage. So library homepage, to get there, go to quick links and then to library. It's one of these bookmark links up at the top. Once you're on the library homepage, we're just going to scroll down a tiny bit, go to this box over here on the right. You're going to click on the third link for resources. So third link. With this new page, you're going to then click on the second link for databases. And this brings you to the library's electronic databases. Now, I got three things I want to show you today. So we're going to scroll down a tiny bit to get to this database by title A to Z list. We're going to click on the C. So C for cookie. Let that reopen, and then we are going to scroll down to the bottom here. We're going to look at two things today. First off is this Credo reference database. Credo reference is one of our really great databases for things like encyclopedias and academic reference resources. We're going to talk about it a bit more next week when we get to reference resources. This is one that it's a good place to brainstorm. Encyclopedias, even Wikipedia, can be a good source for brainstorming and learning about a topic, especially if you are completely unsure about what you want to talk about, or if you have a direction you want to go in, but you're not really sure what to talk about with that topic. Gives you a good broad overview. So it gives you some popular research topics, things you can look for, or you could search for things. All right, so if you're like, I want to talk about climate change, but I don't know what about climate change, because climate change is huge. And most of your research papers are going to be 10 pages or less that you're writing for an undergraduate degree. You need to narrow down climate change to a smaller topic that's easier to examine within a 10-page research paper. And so this then brings you articles about climate change and things that you can start breaking down of what are the different elements of climate change. All good resources. One of the best things I love about Credo, though, is it starts bringing you this mind map. And so this is what you're really creating on your own with this Coglit tool that I'm showing you that I have you using for your assignment for this week. And so you're creating your own mind map, but it starts tying these ideas. That we're talking about climate change. Well, what are 10 things that compose climate change? And so you could be looking at this of greenhouse gas and solar variation and stuff like that, but you're seeing this intergovernmental panel on climate change. Well, what is that? You can also within this mind map click on things, and so it will then bring up search for new articles based upon that intergovernmental panel on climate change, but it also kind of redoes the map that you had this original topic of climate change. Now it's like bringing you out to a different part of the web, and so what are the things that can then branch off of the intergovernmental panel kind of deal? And so how do you break that down? So when you're breaking down these topics, what you're doing is really branching off details of what is this, what are the components that make it up, what are things that this ties to. And so really, I think I put it in the instructions, there's not a wrong way to do it except for not branching anything off. So if you were then, okay, this is what the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is, what is this Kyoto Protocol? And so it then brings you that and then ties in other things talking about the Kyoto Protocol. So I really love Credo reference for this one. Really good tool, really good brainstorming information, and credible information. You probably don't want to use these in your research paper, but it helps you brainstorm so you understand your topic better and can then go find academic scholarly research. All right, so going back up here at the top to that previous tab to that C list of databases, looking above Credo reference, you have the CQ Researcher, and this is another great place to brainstorm ideas, particularly on current topics or things that are being hotly debated today. CQ Researcher stands for Congressional Quarterly, and so you're seeing it has this tagline, in-depth reports on today's issues. And so really the purpose behind CQ Researcher is for people who are working in Washington, D.C., really politicians and aides and lobbyists and journalists who are talking about today's issues, and it gives you this in-depth overview of what is this topic, what's going on with it, what's the history behind it, etc. And so you do have kind of what they're featuring on their homepage of hot topics and things that are really going on right now, but you can also browse topics. So if you're unsure about what I want to talk about, okay, well, let's talk about education. And maybe we want to talk about this cost of education and school funding and you have some of these are listed as short report. Maybe we want the longer one for the student debt one. And so you're seeing this is giving you a rather well-researched, well-cited overview of what is the issue surrounding college student debt. And so you're getting this table of contents that you're seeing that you get the introduction, the overview, the background, what's going on currently with it. If you click on it, it shows you that. One of the things I love about it, that if you're scrolling down, you can see all of these, they're all kind of on the same page, is where you're getting to this pro-con debate section, and I got to scroll down a little bit. I said these were in depth. They are good research things. And so you're taking this pro-con topic of should public college tuition be free, and you got two people debating this and presenting their views. So you have this president of the Campaign for Free College Tuition saying yes, college tuition should be free, whereas you have this founder of the RPK Group, which is a consulting firm for higher ed, saying no, it shouldn't be, and this is why. And so you're getting two sides of an issue with this, with people who are experts and well-versed in the topic talking about it. If you keep scrolling down, you get more information and all of that info. It also then brings you a bibliography of where to find more information. So a lot of good things about these library resources is they can be a springboard to finding other research. And this is a good example of that you want to learn more about this, here's some books and articles we suggest. And then finally down at the bottom, you get all of their footnotes, which is their citations. Now, one thing to remember about CQ Researcher, great for research, but what's being presented here is typically coming from news media, popular resources, and government publications. You're not getting scholarly peer-reviewed research in this. Doesn't mean it's wrong, doesn't mean it's bad, doesn't mean it's necessarily inappropriate, but if your professor is requiring you to have peer-reviewed, this is not that. But it is a good place to brainstorm your topics. I do love this resource for that. Okay, so coming back, leaving the C list, going back to this electronic resources tab, one last place I want to show you for topic ideas is you have this databases by subject. Go to news resources. So we're looking at newspapers. First one coming up, this Access World News Research Collection, comes out of this database Newsbank. And so really we're going to skip this main search bar, and if you're looking at topics, scroll down, it kind of brings you topic ideas. So if you're wanting to talk about social issues, what might be some topic ideas for that? And so if we're talking about something with cost of education, again, if we were looking at that, it then brings you articles and background info talking about the cost of education. And my internet is working really slowly. I'm sorry about that. Give it a moment to think. Sometimes it's slow and connecting, but in moments here, it is going to bring us articles talking about the cost of education from newspapers, from other media outlets and resources. And so this is a good place, here we go, to brainstorm. And these are things that if you were allowed to cite newspapers and news media, these would be credible things you could actually put into your research. So it's brainstorming by seeing what is the conversation out there that can then help you determine what is it I want to talk about in my research topic. So 3 really good areas. I linked to them in the module, but you can get to them from the library homepage. Let me know if you have questions.